This program is brought to you by thepodcastfactory.com.
Hi, my name is Igor Kheifets, and this is The List Building Lifestyle, the only podcast which delivers cutting-edge conversion strategies from the online trenches straight to your earbuds. Download the transcript of today's episode and all future episodes at listbuildinglifestyleshow.com. I also invite you to grab a free copy of the Wealthy List Builder Survival Guide at listbuildinglifestyleshow.com/survival. And now, once again, it's time to claim your list building lifestyle. Welcome back to another edition of the List Building Lifestyle. I'm your host, Igor Kheifets. Back in 2008, I started out marketing an online MLM called Global Domains International. And the first thing I've done was to build my squeeze page. It was a really long squeeze page, definitely not the kind of squeeze page I'd build today. And to get people on my list, and I was using GetResponse at the time, and try to get traffic through social media. Now, let's just skip the part where for the first year I didn't get any traffic whatsoever, and the whole fake it till you make it thing didn't work, and spamming people on Facebook and MySpace didn't work. And yeah, back in the day, MySpace was actually a thing, kind of like what Facebook is today. So let's just skip that part and skip all the way to the point where I'm getting traffic but nobody's buying. So I go ahead and I reach out to my upline, Jody, and I say, Jody, something's wrong. For some reason, nobody's joining. And what boggles my mind is that I'm marketing a $10 per month thing. I mean, it's really cheap. Okay, anyone can afford it, and it makes a lot of sense because you get a whole website and a hosting account for that money. Even though today you can get it for $3 a year. But I'm like, Jody, what's going on? How come nobody's buying? And Jody gives me the one piece of advice that I still hear today from other marketers that I believe is one of the most ridiculous, most misleading, and most progress killing advice you can get as a brand new marketer in the business opportunity and MLM space online. And the advice goes something like this. Oh yeah, well, what you need to do is you need to just show them you're a real person. Show them you're a real person. Really? Okay, now I don't know any better. I'm a newbie. So I go ahead and I try to show people I'm a real person. I shoot a series of YouTube videos where I literally walk them through my apartment, which at the time I'm living with my parents, so the apartment is really, really bad. I remember I immigrated to Israel. We struggled for a really, really long time, and we lived in just shitholes. We moved 8 times in like first 6 or 5 years. It was ridiculous. It was painful. It was a pain in the ass. And honestly, if you'd seen the place I live in back then, I mean, you'd think, man, this guy has good right now. He made it. He made it from the lowest, from the bottom of the barrel to the cream of the crop, so to speak. So anyway, I shoot a series of YouTube videos. I show them my apartment. I show them, I tell them life stories. I tell them about how much of a real person I am, what I'm doing right now, how I'm about to be recruited into the Israeli army. Basically, I walk them into my life. Then I write a series of emails, which pretty much do the same thing. And these emails, they focus on my day-to-day life, on my personal experiences, on my family members and everything, stuff like that, right? So again, I'm sure you've been told the same thing. I'm sure you've been told to talk about your family, talk about your kids, talk about your spouse and stuff like that. And of course, at the time, I'm also trying to blog. So, what I'm doing is I'm taking all that stuff and I put it on my blog. So now I'm thinking, yes, now they know I'm a real person for sure because I got a blog and my blog has a bunch of videos of me on it. And then you got a bunch of emails as well. They joined my list talking about me. It was me, and it was all about my life. So if you join my list, honestly, there should not be any doubt in your mind that I'm a real person, or at the very least that I'm very creative at making up a persona that seems like a real person because I laid out everything. I became so honest and so open with my leads, even though I didn't have many, that, I told them the things I'd never told my parents and my best friends. And I thought, man, if I'm going to do that, I'm going to disclose secrets and I'm going to just be talking about my personal stuff. People will see I'm a real person. They will trust me, and they will automatically would like to buy from me. Well, I was wrong. And anyone who tells you that, anyone who tells you show them that you're a real person is also wrong because that doesn't work. People don't care. They don't give a shit if you're a real person. They honestly do not. The only thing that people care about is themselves, and they don't care if they're buying a solution from a real person or not. What they care about is that if that person that is offering the solution, if the person that is standing next to the solution that they're marketing, is that person credible in the topic or the area of expertise that the solution is in, and is that person honest with them. So they don't care as much about who you are and where you come from as they do about, are you telling the truth? They don't care if you're using an alias to sell the hemorrhoid cream online or whatever, right? Because it's an embarrassing industry. It's an embarrassing problem to have. But what they do care about is if the advice you're sharing is legit. And that is not something they can actually tell if you tell them about your family. It's not something they can know if you talk to them about the baseball practice you went to with Timmy the other week. It's not something they can know if you tell them about your brother-in-law who's, jealous of you making money from home. It's really not. What they want to know, are you genuine? Are you honest? And that is something you create through two mechanisms. The first mechanism is tonality, the mechanism that allows you to sound confident and sound like a credible authority, sound like somebody who knows what they're talking about if you talk right, if you deliver the message right, if you simply maintain a proper, even tonality when discussing the solutions you're selling. And again, try to imagine somebody who sounds like this, right? So buy my shit, buy my product. This cream will get rid of your hemorrhoids in just 4 days, right? So try to think of somebody who sells the hemorrhoids cream like that, and somebody who says, this is the best hemorrhoids cream on the market. You should get it right now while you still can, and it comes with 30-day money back guarantee. So obviously the second example tells you that this guy or gal, right? Maybe it's a woman selling, who knows, but this person sounds like they know what they're talking about. They sound confident, they sound even. While the other person, they sound like they're trying to get your approval, and that's not something we'll ever buy from. Okay, that's not a person we'll ever do business with. That's just the subconscious honest signal that we send out. So the first thing is tonality. The second thing that you absolutely have to do if you don't have credibility and if you want to come across as a credible authority, and without having to necessarily tell them about your personal life details, is storytelling. Now, the beautiful part about storytelling is that, first off, the story does not have to be true, even though if you have moral standards that you have to maintain, you will be able to tell a true story, but the story does not have to be true, and the story does not have to be yours. So you can actually tell someone else's story and establish yourself as a credible authority. In fact, what's going to happen when you tell stories that people kind of put aside their logical objections for a bit, and they get emotionally involved with the story. That's really important to remember, because when people are logical and rational, they will never be able to make a decision. In fact, there was a study done where a person's amygdala, which is the part of the brain that's responsible for, really powerful emotions like fear and lust and anger and all that stuff, right? So animals, for example, that have large amygdalas, they're really aggressive, like crocodiles, for example. So the guy's amygdala was damaged during a car accident, and his emotional capacity got hit. Like, he was not getting emotional at all. So this dude changed completely. He stopped recognizing his family members. He was able to maintain and to kind of conduct a very logical and rational conversation with you. But if you ask him to make a decision of any kind, he was simply not able to do it. So this is why they say people buy using their emotions, that people make emotional decisions. Every single decision you make, every single thing you make, every single decision that you'll ever make in your life will be first and foremost an emotional decision, because it sits in the amygdala. Without it, you won't be able to decide. Therefore, if you want to elicit buying decisions from your potential customers, you have to appeal to the emotions. And stories do that incredibly well. Now, I can't do justice to story selling and story marketing in a single or maybe even like a series of podcast episodes. So if you'd like to learn more about how to sell using stories, and specifically how to recruit people into your business opportunity using stories without having to make claims, without lying, without selling on hype, without talking to them in person, then you should check out my brand new guide to story marketing and to bridge page marketing, which is basically a system, a 9-step system where I show you how to build a bridge page that tells a story that gets people emotionally engaged with you and gets them to want to join you in business. Again, even if you have no proof, even if you have no credibility, even if you have no street cred, then go to bridge.igorsolowitz.com for more details. So thank you again for tuning in for another episode of The List Building Lifestyle. This is your host, Igor Kheifets, and I'll talk to you next time. Thank you for listening to The List Building Lifestyle. Make sure to subscribe on iTunes or Google Play to never miss an episode. Because who knows, just one conversion tactic we share on the show might double your list and double your business. Download the transcript of today's episode and all future episodes at listbuildinglifestyleshow.com. And don't forget to claim your complimentary copy of the Wealthy List Builder Survival Guide at listbuildinglifestyleshow.com/survival. This is Igor Kheifets, and until next time we talk, have a good one.
This is the podcastfactory.com.